I am going to comment on the Hamas Israeli Defense Force war that is now currently going on. I want to believe that what Hamas did, they thought that they were ambushing the Israelites. But the truth of the matter is that Hamas was walking into a trap. I am reminding myself about the 1982 Air Force coup attempt that occurred in Nairobi. Some people say that Moi changed because of the August 82 coup. He was a gentleman, but because of the coup, he changed and became a dictator. I want to believe, and all evidences that I have convinces me that Moi was a dictator from even before he became the president. The only problem that Moi had between the day Jomo Kenyatta died and August coup, he did not have a way or an excuse of showing the true Moi himself. So he knew that several groups were trying to overthrow him, and he happily allowed it to happen so that he does something else. The reason I'm saying so is because I used to work in the special branch, and the instructions were both the NIS today, and it used to be called special branch, and then it became Directorate of Security Intelligence, then it became NSIS, then now it is NIS. That is the civilian intelligence. And we have the civilian police that is called National Police Service. So both the National Police Service and the civilian National Police Service, which is the civilian police, and the civilian intelligence, that is NIS, if things reach an extent that it covers the military aspect, we have been instructed from the time when, I don't know when, that anything that touches on the military, especially within the military camps, we take all the investigations that we have. The intelligence hands over the intelligence to the Directorate of Military Intelligence, DMI, but those days it used to be called MIC, Military Intelligence Corps. As for the police, National Police Service, which is the civilian police authority, anything of that type, which is within the jurisdiction of the military, it is handed over to the military police. Now, when Moi was going to be overthrown, there was a lot of infiltration into military camps, especially Laikipia, by special branch officers. I used to work with the special branch. I used to work with the Directorate of Security Intelligence. Nobody has ever told me why such a thing would happen. But as I've said, and this tape is about Hamas versus Israel Defense Forces, is that somebody knows what you're going to do. He lets you do it, and then he uses that as an excuse to turn against you. Israel has some of the best intelligence in the world. In America, if you want to win the if you want to lose the elections, just tell the people that you are against Israel occupation, such things, whatever. And quite a good number of American taxpayers' money ends up protecting Israel. I can tell you Israel is a very small country. At one point, Israel is 6 miles from Jordan to Mediterranean. So you find that most of its operations are done outside, not within its border, outside the borders in far away countries, and it is very expensive. Jews are very few that they cannot sustain that budget. That budget, you'll find, apart from countries like America and probably Britain, which heavily finances it, you'll find that I'll not be shocked, personally, I'll not be shocked if I learned that all Jews worldwide contribute taxes to the Israel army, Israel government, especially Israel army. Now, I do believe that what Hamas planned to attack Israel, Israel knew. Or even better, or is it worse? Or even better, Israel may have let them do it. They may have allowed them to do it so as to get an excuse, to attack them. That is why you find me saying that I tend to believe that whatever happened, Israel planned it. And Israel, Israel, from the time they left Gaza Strip and handed it over to Palestinians, especially after Hamas took over Gaza Strip, Israel has always been wanting to overrun it. But what Israel has been lacking, an excuse to do it. So when they got the information, that these people are attacking, or they may even have placed their own people there. We have people in the intelligence arm. You can even place your own agent in the strongest places possible. You place the person in the presidential palace of any place, or even in the cabinet. It is rumored that Bruce Mackenzie, was an agent of both Israel and the British intelligence. So you may find that Jomo Kenyatta may have been making decisions which were influenced by both Israel and British. So my saying here is that Hamas may have within their top echelons, they may have had very well placed agents. And these agents may have been the ones who convinced Hamas to attack Israel. And Israel may, and I believe Israel did leave that place deliberately for Hamas to attack. How can you know all the tunnels? Israel had the map of all the tunnels in that place. How can you know all the tunnels? How can you know where a certain Hamas leader is staying and whatever? And then they plan. It is said that they're planning to attack. The plan to attack Israel, as it did recently, was something that was planned 5 years ago. But Israel, in my belief, they knew what was going to happen, and they were ready for it. So they allowed Hamas to do that, and they did that. As far as relatives, I do not know of any Kenyan who's a victim there. But I'm talking particularly about those people who were kidnapped by Hamas. As late as last week, before I recorded this, there was a ceasefire where some 25 hostages would be released, and those hostages, there is an exchange. Some will be released from Israeli prison, some will be released. But I can tell you to take this one to the bank, not just the Central Bank of Kenya, but I'm telling you to take it to the World Bank, that the elimination of Hamas, the total destruction of Hamas, is what Israel is looking for. Hamas on its side is supposed to get support from Arab countries. But the way they have been playing rough, the way they have been overloading over everything, the way they have been rude, the way they have been doing whatever, they have so many enemies within Arab world. So you'll find Arab worlds will give a lukewarm support. This is not 1967. 1967, all Arabs were united so that Israel was attacked from. And you know, in 1967, it is the Arabs who planned to attack Yom Kippur War. But this one, it is Israelites who let Hamas walk into a trap. So many of the Arab countries would want to see the end of Hamas. Not just even PLO, Palestinian Liberation, which rules the West Bank. You know, Palestine is divided into two. There is the West Bank, and then there is the Gaza Strip. It is like, for lack of a better example to give, it's like having Western Province and Coast Province being Palestine, and then the rest of Kenya is Israel. So that when you are moving from one side, let's say West Bank, which is Western Province and Nyanza, and you are going to the coast, the place, this Gaza Strip, you go through this country and then go to Coast Province in Kenya, something like that. So even the government that is there, government of Mahmoud Abbas, the government that is in West Bank, it is against. And you see, some Arabs, many Arabs would wish Hamas to be finished so that PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization, takes full control, even if they are to take full control of a fully demolished part of Gaza Strip. Now let us go to those who support Hamas. We have people like Hezbollah. Hezbollah, it means the army of Allah, the army of God. They are basically stationed in southern Lebanon. Now these people, you have seen they have even attacked Israel from the southern, they have attacked part of northern, but theirs is too little, too weak, too late. This war, Israel will only lose if Hezbollah becomes very powerful. But I am seeing there is a lot of body count. But you see, the problem is Israel is a country, a known country. So it is governed by Geneva Law. We were taught about Geneva Convention in GSU training school. There are rules that govern a country when they are fighting. But these rules do not apply to non-state actors like Hezbollah. They don't act to non-state like Hamas. So you'll find that Israel has to go to their league. If Israel has to play according to the Geneva Convention, these are laws that says when you have shot down a plane and a pilot is parachuting, you don't shoot him. When somebody is carrying up a white flag, you don't shoot him. But you see, even state actors sometimes don't follow that. But what of the non-state? And then Israel is in such a place that it is fighting non-state actors. It is like a footballer playing rugby people. What do? Do you play football or you go to rugby? Or you do the combination of both? But I can tell you, some finishing off my points is that I believe Israel knew, and maybe Israel even influenced the Hamas to attack them so that they can have the final word on Hamas. But unfortunately, if Hamas is finished, it is not just Hamas. Even the PLO will be just a paper tiger. Thank you.